Prof, in the budget, there are more than 20 tax measures. You say it is still not enough?
Yes. If you look at the end game,
Mm-hmm.
to the investor, to outsiders, they don't care. What they care is your ability to pay down on your debt.
Bottom line.
Bottom line. That's what. So there are multiple stakeholders in this economy. To some people, they want roads. To some people, they want food, quality, cheap. To some people, they want this. To some people, higher salaries. So there are multiple stakeholders with conflicting interests. To the investor who has lent to Ghana, they are not interested in roads.
They want their money back.
Yes. How you can pay down on your debt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want.
And these more than 20 tax measures will still not do the magic.
It will not. Because even with that one, we are focusing on the wrong areas. We are of the view, and I think we are justified to some extent. But of course, we could be wrong. We are of the view that the inefficiencies in the tax administration, if we could close that alone, could generate more revenue rather than increasing existing tax rates or introducing new taxes. And this is where we get it wrong as a country.
Prof, yes, please finish.
If you look at exemptions and how we abuse it, I just told you that we are not getting enough optimally from the extractive sector.
Yes.
And all of that. So what we have done is that where we need to focus and improve efficiency with greater administrative reform and collect more revenue, we don't do that and rather burden the faithful few.
I like that, faithful few. Prof, I was going to ask that the Bank of Ghana says depreciation of the cedi to the dollar is about 54%.
It's more than that.
Good. That's where I was coming to.
Part of the problem.
What figures do you have?
We are doing something in excess of 60%.
We are doing in excess of 60%.
Yes, these are the things that we do that gives oxygen to the black market. When the central bank keeps an artificial rate, again deriving that from the interbank rate, which is artificially low and doesn't reflect the dynamics out there, then what the market will say is that you have the rate, but the black market has the dollars. Okay? And therefore, where dollar is actually being exchanged, that rate is what we use, and not the politically motivated rate or artificial rate at the central bank.
So the 54% is politically motivated?
Well, I could withdraw that, but it doesn't reflect the reality.
The reality on the ground.
Yes. And when you do it that way, that in itself provides oxygen to the black market to grow. And that's why it's been difficult to tame the black market, because even people, highly educated, even across very sensitive state institutions, are likely to withdraw their dollars from the formal financial system and head to the black market and go and change it.
You mentioned the extractive sector and the fact that we're not getting what exactly we should get from there. You also mentioned tax waivers and all of that. Is it that as a country we lack negotiation skills? What exactly is our problem when it comes to the extractive sector?
Oftentimes in these negotiations, we elevate personal interest above national interest. If you examine many of these contracts, Ghana, represented by officials, would have signed. Okay. And then the monitoring mechanism and the enforcement mechanism. We don't need to have all the knowledge here to have a good contract, because we operate in a global environment. You can look for help. And even within this country, I am sure, because some of us don't consider ourselves to be in the top 20% of people who know exactly what is going on. If we look within, we may find sufficient expertise. Look, do you know something? If you mean well and for the common good, you would attract in proportion to that.
Prof, you're a professor of finance and a senior lecturer at University of Ghana Business School. You're an economist as well. Are you consulted on things like this? or people like of your caliber? Are you consulted on things like this, like the budget, like negotiations and all? Are you consulted?
Oh, I think that government will have their own way of getting input into the budget preparation. And I think that the base is very wide, so I don't need to be at the table or so. But
I'm not talking about you as a person. I'm talking about people of your caliber, academia, research, and all of that.
I think that government may be doing something, but whether it's at the broad-based level and then on consensus building is another thing I cannot tell totally.